My name is Oksana, and I'm CEO and founder of elin.ai. And Elin, we here in Elin really believes that within 10 years, it would be no 9 to 5 job and cubicles anymore.
Give me a
And
five.
all, uh, yeah, like I'm giving 10 years, like within 10 years, no cubicles
Okay.
anymore. And within 10 years, all workforce would be distributed. So the challenge that leaders bumping into right now, it's how to build culture on remote, because everything before was so easy. Because you were walking by in the office, you're stopping by, you're asking, as they call it, like manage by walking by, and you're stopping by and you're asking people, how's your day, how's your children, how's your work. And that was an assessment tool, how to understand what is a people's mood, how people engage, are people happy, and how well they collaborate. But when everybody is isolated in their homes, when everybody is remote, and how you do that, like every day for 10 minutes check in with everybody, yeah, it may work, but you need something else. So actually, like my topic today, we're going to talk more about how to okay how to build a remote enabled culture, how to make sure that you know what's going on with your people every day, and how to make sure that you're actually building high performing and learning culture. And yeah, what we're going to talk about today is first, what is a culture and how to measure it, and key culture dimensions like engagement and collaboration and mood and impact and well-being, and how to self-assess culture. I will give you some hints and tips and questions how you can understand what's going on with your culture, and how to use Slack as a main communication tool for um, for uh, for understand and assess the culture. So how you can force to be more visible, and how you can force everybody in the team to collaborate better by using Slack. And okay, so yeah, and the latest survey showing us that almost 75% in software field answering that they allowed to work remote, and they working remotely at least once a week. And even more in US, within 10 years or even within 5 years, more than 50% of US workforce going to work on remote, or be self-employed. These two trends actually going hand by hand, being self-employed, freelance, and working on remote. And it's a huge shift in the mindset of each individual who decided to work, to be self-employed, and company who decided to hire a freelancer instead of full-time employee. And even more within 10 years, the because freelance as an attitude to work going to grow, the idea is that people going to not stick with one company for 2, 3, 5 years. They're going to move from project to project. That's why management as it is supposed to change. Because as we know, like all management practice was built for factories workers or for slave mentality. When you are here for your lifetime and you are so happy that you receive this job and you have a corporate ladder to climb and you have all the politics and everything inside to navigate to have your job, to just stick to your job. And in the future, you have your virtual identity, you have your GitHub, your LinkedIn, your portfolio online, and you're moving from project to project, from company to company, just offering your talents. And it's completely different approach to managing people. So what I'm touching a little bit, the top-down approach, when some couple of people on the top decide for everybody else what they're supposed to do, how talents inside the organization supposed to move, how to climb your that corporate ladder. It's a past already. And right now, organization more likely looks like a live organism which unite like different, the same as our body is thousands of cells, and each cell has its own consciousness and its own identity. The same with organization of the future. It's a network of people who united by the same idea and going towards the same goal, but they're in a flat, equal relationship to each other. They're united by teams, and inside of each team, you have like a microclimate. You have like some special set of rules which work in this team and may not work in another team. But all together, this living organism supposed to somehow work well together. And it's a huge challenge for every leader right now, especially the bigger organization is, the bigger the challenge, how you make everybody on the team align to the same values, to the same goal, to the same vision. And here actually is a culture kick in. And what is a culture? Culture is a set of norms, unspoken behaviors, which is accepted or not accepted inside of organization of team, and shared beliefs and shared assumptions. Usually it's going like stories, like anecdotes. It's a small behavioral or attitude towards the work. And the values is written on the wall, but actually how that values being utilized, it's the most important part for every leader. You can proclaim that you are transparent and honest, but if you keep your groups, all groups in Slack private, it's probably showing that you have some secrets and you want to hide something. And here, what people would believe more, your words or your behaviors? Actually, all research is showing us that behaviors forming culture much more than just words on the wall. And culture actually matters because, again, all research is showing that a highly engaged employee in a good, striving, learning environment are much more productive. To be exact, 10% more productive than people in less collaborative environment, and 87% more engaged than people in less collaborative environments. So to focus you, I understand that probably people who listen to this webinar, they just starting to build their team. Maybe they team of 10 or maybe 20, maybe they're going to hit the wall of 50, which actually culture kicking off as the most important focus for leaders, because when you are a team of 10, you know everybody in the team, you know their children's name, you know their vacation time. But when you kick in 50, you finally reach the point where you meet the people in your Slack and you're like, who they are? Who's that person who just posted that emoji? You know? So the idea is how to build culture from early beginning to make sure that everybody in the team are highly engaged and motivated. And again, reiterating why culture is important. Before, that was easy. Manager decides what everybody is supposed to do, created task list and distributed it to everybody. It's how things work. Right now, it's a network of people who come together for Scrum meeting and decide what they're going to do this week. And to make sure that this Agile framework really working, everybody on the team supposed to have the same set of shared values, really transparent goals and on the project, and really transparent communication about it, some level of emotional intelligence to help force communication, not only about what we are doing, but also about how do we feel about what we are doing. Free flow of information and feedback and background, and to be open to receive feedback from each individual on your team or for group overall, and force to give feedback to each other by giving open and honest feedback to your teammates. And this is one more really important part, that people get rewarded for their skills and abilities, not for their positions, for actually their concrete results, not for how close they are to the management or to the other people in the organization who decide about promotion at the end of the year. So to make it really work, We need to focus us on a 5, and we call it the team health parameters. And these 5 parameters that we need to look for is mood, engagement, well-being, collaboration, and impact. And we're going to deep dive into each of these categories next. But before we do that, again, let me reiterate how culture connected to engagement. So culture is the way things work around here. Engagement is how people come every day to work and actually execute. And as you can get, how it used to work here, every new employee really quickly picking up on set of behaviors, what is appropriate to know. That's how people building, for example, learning culture, when everybody learning from each opportunity to learn. Or, for example, highly supportive culture, when everybody helping each other to reach their goals. Or competitive culture, when vice versa, you put everyone in some kind of competition with each other. Or it's one more important part, that culture is built by itself, even if you are not paying conscious attention to it. That's how toxic culture, for example, or conservative culture may appear in your organization, when a lot of gossiping, a lot of complaining, and not that energy that inspire everybody in the team to be the best version of themselves every day. Okay, so what is the key components to build a highly engaging culture? First, it's to be highly transparent as in leadership. To build that trust inside of the team, you're supposed to be consistent and transparent. And I will talk about it probably 3 times or maybe 5 times through the rest of the presentation, how trust is built by transparency. In any situation, good or bad, everybody turning their eyes to leader and asking leader what's going on. And here is a call to be really transparent and honest with anything that's happening inside of your organization. And also encourage people and yourself face any situation and be open and transparent about it. Because once people know the truth and they are welcome to participate in the solution, they feel themselves included. And inclusion is the most important factor after trust, how you make remote team work. When everybody feels that they can participate in the decision, not only when some decisions are forced towards them and they just need to execute on them, but actually when they pull into decision-making process and are asked to bring their ideas or vote for the ideas that others brought, it's actually making all the difference on their engagement. The work environment is highly influenced culture as well. And we understand that when everybody working on a remote, we're quite isolated and we're building our working environment by ourselves. But the role of the leader is to build online communication as an office environment. Saying hello to everyone when you enter the Slack, staying connected. And we have a rule in our team, we call it over-communicate. Because when we're sitting in the same room and somebody agree on what I'm saying, they nodding. And that's how I know they heard me and they agree with me. If we are online and I'm posting something and people read it and nodding, how do I know about it? So the thumbs up, the heart, the yes, I'm on board with it, totally agree, and so on, is the way how I receive feedback and is the way I know that message was delivered and appropriately received. Don't underestimate the meaning of work. Right now, people mostly build their identity around work. When I would ask somebody, hi, who you are, tell me more about yourself. They usually start from their work identity. And they telling me I'm engineer, I'm manager, I also father, mother, like dog lover, whatever. Yeah, but their professional identity forming the big part of their life because we're spending 6, 8, 12 hours at our work. So it's a part of our identity. So meaningful work is also important ingredient to make high engagement culture work. And it's not about moonshots and not about changing the world. It's an important part if your project doing so, but any project, any work may be meaningful. The task of the leader is for any task to link it to bigger goals that this task is contributing to, and let every individual know how this task, what they're doing, contributing to something bigger, and encourage them to do the best of it. And once they done their best job on that task, appreciate it and be grateful for it and recognize how that small task actually influences something bigger we are all here to do. Clear goal and recognition for sure part of it, and transparent compensation. If you can make it happen transparent, it also helps to build trust inside of the team. And so yeah, let's dive deeper into how we're doing about the time. Are we doing good? So let's dive deeper into each category and what does it mean, and let's talk more about how to work on these 5 dimensions that I mentioned as the team health dimensions. So first, engagement. What is engagement? Engagement is one of the most important employees' motivation. It's how much energy they are bringing to their work every day. And if they are right to provide excitement over their goals, achieving results, are they engaged into what they are doing, and they keeping that fair balance of making things happen. So engagement reflects a positive culture of recognition, empowerment, and support. So how we go about that? I'm thinking, do we need to switch? I have one more. No, okay, we're going to stay here in presentation mode. So how you can engage, how you can assess engagement in your organization. Try to answer next question. Are my employees motivated to go extra mile in their work? Are people learning new skills and developing professionally every day? Are we always recognized for good work and additional efforts? Are my employees always expect constructive and timely feedback on our work? And is everyone respect each other and value each other's opinion? It's like 5 guiding questions which help you assess what is the level of engagement inside of your organization. And if you are mostly answering no, I would recommend you to work in these 4 directions that we have on the screen. First, provide feedback and appropriate reaction to communication. Don't leave any message on Slack hanging without your comments or without answer or without any reaction. Encourage asking for help and celebrate those who responded really quickly and promptly and to the point. Again, help everybody by mentioning them to see that you're looking for their help, or they can help other person in your team. Encourage sharing, learning from each other, and support. Some teams organize, I really like that idea that Buffer has, some team organize learning lunches on Friday when they all come together online, everybody in their home with their salad, but one person is presenting what they learned this week. And that's how they combine team building and learning at the same time. If in your team, you can invite some advisors or high-level professionals to teach your team something, make it a habit as well. Once a month, you're coming all together. And yeah, like do it online. It's awesome. Like Zoom is your office, right? Express gratitude and recognition. It's also important part of forcing people to collaborate well together. It's when you, for example, um, how much of your communication is expressing gratitude, positive empowerment, support, and recognition. Like, think about that for a moment. If 100% of your communication in Slack, it's what your culture is. It's how your communication happens. What percentage of it is thank you? Depends on the culture, right? Like even on the social culture. Like some culture really appreciate each other, and some other only see negative part or like complaining about. So your role as a leader is actually force appreciation and force gratitude, and do yourself a conscious practice and habit to go and thank everybody. And you probably know that rule, right? Um, Appreciate publicly and criticize privately. If you see something that you want that other person needs to improve, go to direct messages. If you see some behavior that you want to encourage in everybody, make it visible in all channels. Like post it about it, like in general, in team chat, in that specific chat, 10 hearts on the Trello task, and so on. Make appreciation your daily habit. I know it needs some conscious awareness about it, and because we, in our daily routine, we're just going after making things happen, but stopping and appreciating it, it's important part of building a positive and highly engaging culture. Engaging communication is reflects on a culture of consistent and ongoing team interaction and how many people contribute to conversation, and your role as a leader to help everybody to jump on into some decision making process. Invite them by mentioning them, invite them by asking their opinion. And if it's online meeting, and your role as a leader, not only follow the agenda and like write notes, but your role is also see who's not talking and ask their opinion as well. Sometimes I understand that sometimes extroverts taking a lot of time on the meetings because they like to talk and they have a lot of to express. Believe me, I know. But introverts who more observers on the meeting sometimes has a lot to add and a lot to say just because they had that time and opportunity to reflect on everything what's going on around, and their adds on may be super valuable. So your role as a leader is to help people who are not talking that much, help them to express their opinion as well, and it would highly engage, help them to increase their engagement and inclusion inside of the team. Okay, let's go further. Mood, highly connected to engagement as well. Mood is positive or negative emotions employee feels at work or about work. And the mood may reflect positive mindset, atmosphere of optimism, mutual empowerment and support, or vice versa. Can drain energy, be really toxic, and that's that point when people hate to open Slack and go to that meeting, but they forced to. So the question you can self-assess yourself with is, people in my company are feeling more positive or negative? Just your feeling about it. What do you think? And your personal feeling. How do you feel about your work? Do you feel positive or negative? People generally start their day in a good mood or a bad mood. I mean, work day. Do I enjoy the positive atmosphere in my team? This question is highly subjective, and they highly depend on what's going on in a person's life, for sure. But your role as a leader to understand everyone and include everyone, and use your weekly one-to-one as an opportunity to make sure that everybody is in the good mood. Whatever is going on in their team or in their life. And here again, coming that part that I mentioned in the beginning, importance of emotional intelligence. Take some self-practice and some self-awareness, what mood you are in and what you are forcing when you are running towards your next goal. So be self-conscious, because again, leader sets the rule of behavior. If you are impatient on the meeting and you are angry and you are expressing your anger in angry words, you're giving permission to everybody be not compassionate and really in a different moods that force high engagement culture. And at the same time, if you are angry but you take some step back, you breathe in and out, you get into your body, you feel yourself, and you realize, I'm angry right now. And you are not react from that anger, but you communicate it clearly. Like, I don't like when we are late on the deadlines. I'm getting really irritated and angry about it. I understand that you have so much on your plate, and I'm compassionate to your ability to manage all of it. But let's make a new rule. We are not late on that task anymore. Are you on board with that? It's not like, you stupid buzzer, what have you done? Like, it's reaction versus being more mindful and compassionate about what's going on. And I know nobody of us was trained as a psychologist, or some of us maybe was, but not everyone. Not everyone know how to do that, but it keeps some practice, especially in the remote environment. I can't stress more how important mood is in a remote environment. Because in the office, when we have a fight on the meeting and we just being angry and we are going back to our tables, and in 1 hour or so we're meeting next to water cooler or to coffee, we have one more fresh opportunity to talk about our conversation on the meeting. Or maybe even more, at the end of the day, we're getting tired, we go to the bar, we got drunk, we completely forgot about what was during the day, and we kind of manage it through, because it's people relationship, and we understand that we are in this these people every day in the office for 8 hours. You don't have that online at all. You don't have that online. I don't know any team who can sit after work in Zoom and drink beer together. That would be an awesome idea, probably, but for now. So, to be more emotionally aware and catch yourself early on any irritation, recognizing the not a positive emotions, and be compassionate to yourself and to others, and not hide it, but force the communication around it. Even if you got reactive, or somebody from your team got reactive in the meeting and you had a fight, call again in half an hour after the meeting and clear the air. Because when I'm at my home, I'm isolated, right? And all that emotions boiling inside of me, and I'm getting reacted all the time because something happened a week or a month ago, but we didn't have a chance to clear it out. because after the meeting, I just closed my computer and went by hating everybody. It's escalating to the point that at one day your remote engineer or your remote employee just quit and you highly surprised. Everything was well. Nobody expressed anything. Why did they quit? That's why. That's why. Because it was some emotional roller coaster going on till the moment that they couldn't stand it anymore. We probably all had that example in our career, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so again, how to improve it? First, you said you are example. You said you are a role model. How you behave, everybody in the team behaves. Also, encourage a positive attitude. Encourage everybody to be positive. Even if people are negative, fine, shine the light on a positive aspect of the situation. Even if everything is going really bad, you are the person who is responsible to see a bright side and the light at the end of the tunnel. Celebrate success. Again, highly connected to gratitude. Celebrate success together. Make success visible. Not only on retro meetings, not only on monthly or quarterly report meetings, but celebrate success every day. Create a special emoji about your success. I know we're mostly looking forward in projecting into the future when we're supposed to be, and these goals that we just did or milestone we just accomplished, it's already done. Let's go further. But no, again, take your time to celebrate success together. It would force a positive mood and positive attitude inside of your team. And remind of positive results. Every time you have positive results, keep reinforcing and keep reminding about it. Okay, highly connected to mood is well-being. And well-being is a way of people self. It's like work-life balance, and encourage work-life balance, but not expecting people that they live in their job. Help them to manage ability of workload and maintain sense of mental and physical health. How you do it? Well-being is your energy level. I would remind you here about flow and being in the flow. And again, that's why I'm stressing that there would be no 9 to 5 job, because people are working in a different time zones, in a different environments, in a different time sets, because they work when they feel like. That's why they choose the freedom of remote, because they want to manage their life and their work. They want to have the freedom to work from where they are, when they want, how they want, and they being judged not by number of hours clocked into the system, but they being judged by the results they're delivering. And it's completely like people who work on remote right now, it's a different mindset. And on that different mindset, they're looking for leaders who highly appreciate their results more than just being on time in Slack or any other online communication tool. So for you to force well-being, think about in terms of energy. And energy actually reflects being able to manage time and workload. Being in a high energy help people to deliver much better results that they may if they are low energy. And in some day or some morning, if they feel under the weather, it's supposed to be okay in your team when they take a day off or half a day off or some hours off, and they come in later when they're in a high energy mood. Because when you are in the flow, time just passing by, you just connecting to the task you are in, and you flowing the best version of you, and you're making the best version of your job happen. That's the idea. The idea of good leaders to force well-being in their workforce is to help everyone to find the best version of themselves and help them to stay on that high flying energy level. So how you can assess what is your well-being in your team? People are energized by work they do, or there is a culture of support and respect at work. Everyone has time and energy to live healthy lifestyle if they choose to. There is a sense of respect for employees' personal time and time off. How you can force it? First of all, please think and make sure you are well, and your personal well-being as a leader is your high priority. You don't respond on weekends. You don't respond while you're on vacation. You're 4 a.m. in the morning, kind of, only if you have 2 days off, Ksenia, tomorrow, you know.
I'm not.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so encourage people for a work-life balance by not expecting responding in and out working hours. Express gratitude, empowerment, and encouragement in online and offline communication. React to employees' expression if they express tiredness or work overload or burnout by scheduling one-to-ones and helping them improve situation on a team meetings. Usually, all burnouts is highly connected to their mood, because we can be energized and high because we love our team so much. So we are, it's okay for us to work in the morning. We are so inspired, and the other time it's just not. So your role as a leader to notice it and to see if somebody are highly tired, because once emotion running high and somebody is staying in that not a good place for a couple of weeks or months, the only one thing you can expect, they would get toxic. And after they get toxic and hating everything, in a couple of months they will just burn out and quit. So there is a level when well-being is often overlooked, you know, and people just forget and leave it for everyone in the team. Like, you take care about yourself. For sure, everybody's supposed to feel their needs and clearly communicate them. But at the same time, your role as the leader to make sure everybody in your team is well. So cut early if employee is not feeling well, and find the right solution to return to better physical and mental state of well-being of everyone. Impact. Oh, impact is a cool one. Impact, like, people may go be highly engaged and may go extra hour, extra mile if they feel they making an impact and they making a difference. So impact is a feeling of contribution to the overall goal of the organization and sense of achievement and accomplishment. That's why volunteers ready to work for free in organizations that saving the world, because they feel like they're making an impact. And that sense of fulfillment at the end of the day, when you know you did something important, it is their paycheck for doing everything that they are doing for free. So I encourage you to create that sense of impact for everyone in your team. Even if they're doing completely routine tasks, help them to find that sense of how they're overall contributing into like long-term goal. And impact reflects the contribution of employees towards company success. Make sure they know how they contribute to company success, even if they just coding or QAing or testing your product. And help them to see through to the completion. How you can assess impact? What question you need to ask yourself to assess if you are doing an impact and if you are helping your team to do some impact in the organization. Impact. Everyone knows what our current priorities and main goals in the company are. I understand the strategic decision taken by the leadership team. People understand how their everyday work contributes to the company's success. And company mission is well known and supported by employees. Here, when values and mission on the wall or in online documents actually become a living part of everyday's work and everyday's reason to come to work. If people align by values and if they find themselves contributing to the mission of organization, and they would be first, for sure, if you don't have it, write a mission, understand your value set and what behavior you're encouraged, and confirm commitment in communication. Again, over communicate again and again and again around impact. Post summaries and results in public communication channel. Any decision supposed to be communicated. And I don't know if you know, there is a rule of in change management about to understand that something is changed in the organization. In average, person need 6 times to hear about it. So if you made any decision or any new set of goals or a vision, or you changed your mission somehow, please make sure to communicate it at least 6 times, better 10 times. Like repeat it on all hands every week or every month, depends on how often you're doing all your hands. And celebrate achievements and success, highlighting their connection to larger company goal to help people understand how impactful it was in their life. Yeah. And collaboration, the last but not the least. I would even I save it for the last because it's the most important part. Collaboration shows how much employees work together and support each other in achieving common goals. And collaboration is based on the intensity, frequency, and efficiency of employees' interaction and support online. When in office environment, we just come together, a tribe, and sit together and working our work together, we feel that collaboration spirit. If you are online, and especially if you are asynchronous, so you work silously in a different time zones, make sure people online frequently and efficiently communicate and help each other in their work. So, question to ask. People are comfortable asking for help and support each other when needed. Yes, no, and what is the percentage of it? Even if in difficult situation, teams tend to find an agreement and make decisions together. Yes, no, what is percentage of it? There is a strong cooperation between teams and departments. Yes, no, what is percentage of it? Everyone feels comfortable voicing out their opinions and ideas. It's important part, especially voicing out opinions and ideas. So what you can do about it? Collaboration is, especially in distributed companies, it's really easy to lose the feeling of working as a one team. So your role as a leader is to measure, to see how people collaborate and help them to collaborate better. And first, and the golden rule of good communication is psychological safety. And psychological safety shows how comfortable employees are to speak up and voice their opinion, how they support each other, and for example, what is a percentage of all employees who actually actively participate in your calls and actively participate in your discussions. What is percentage of super active in communication and people who are silent all the time? And what is a percentage of employee who are asking for help and support and who usually helping them? How quickly they receive their help and how quickly they start to collaborate on something. So here, how you can force psychological safety. Again, being honest, open, and transparent yourself, being ready to help all the time, and actually not just being happy to being ready to help, but actually actively helping everybody to get their task done. So what you need to do, sharing communication, encourage from to inclusive and inclusive. Encourage employees to contribute more to communication, especially for help out of usual team, responding to messages from employee outside of their own team. Help to promote collaboration, not only inside, but also not only inside of your team, but also inside of bigger organization. And yeah, I will quickly go through what we are doing, how Elin can help, because we created using machine learning to analyze communication in Slack, Zoom, and Gmail to understand how team working well together. So all the self-assessment we did, our algorithm doing by analyzing your communication and giving you a dashboard, how your team is doing. It's highly useful for remote teams when you are not able to see how people collaborate together. And we're actually using sentiment analysis and communicational pattern and emotional analysis and prediction model to understand what's going on inside of the team and helping to coach leaders how to engage remote workforce better. And working with elin.ai, your team may expect to have much more clearer goal setting and tracking of the goals, giving timely and constructive feedback, creating learning culture, receiving recognition, and preventing physical and mental burnout. Also, we're helping to enable cross-team communication and sustain motivation of creating impact. I guess I will share this presentation so you would be able to go through it. And the question I shared with you is from our playbook. It's Culture Self-Assessment Guide. You can download it for free at playbook.elin.ai. Please don't hesitate and contact me if you need any help on it or any other around building your culture in remote team. I highly appreciate your time here. And I'm done for now.